So Manel Kape versus Brandon Royval has been made. It was made a while back. Not a while back, a couple days. So I'm late to reporting it, but still, it's been made. We now officially know who will be fighting Alexandre Pantoja next. Alexandre Pantoja, who has been extremely dominant and currently owns the flyweight division due to his killer fighting style of totally relying on his chin, marching forward, and laying on top of his opponents. Uh, and we got these two fighters, Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval um, recently just beat Tatsuro Tora. Tatsuro Taira. I messed up that name, but yeah. Brandon Royval just recently beat Tatsuro Taira, who was he's a very smart grappler, but it was Brandon Royval who beat him. Brandon Royval, stellar boxer, extremely fast, excellent feints when it comes to boxing, and just very dangerous, especially if he's like close to being finished. You really just can't rush a finish with Brandon Royval because he just may, you know, um, find the time for a crazy, precise killer counter shot that gets you while you're trying to rush in to finish him, whether it's via ground and pound or whatever you want to throw at him. So, yeah, that's Brandon Royval. Overall, like I said, really good boxer and just excellent feints when it comes to boxing as well. Ground game is there, but not stellar. And Royval, like I said, is fighting Manel Kape. Manel Kape has always really just been stellar on the feet, really good striking, high class, world class, excellent head movement, grappling also there. I would say pretty high level as well. But when it comes to Manel Kape, what's especially special about him is that striking. It's that his ability to mix it up, and his head movement when it comes to striking is so crazy good. So yeah, these two are fighting, and it's going to be an amazing fight. I love this fight for flyweight. Like, it's two flyweight fighters, so it's gonna look like something out of the fucking anime One Piece, where like, you got these two jumping off the walls at each other, probably some really cool kicks, fast striking, because they're just two really light, fit, fast fighters. Um, but I expect the striking to be an absolutely stellar show, an absolute spectacle. Um, Minnow Cop, like I said, he's gonna bring the head movement. He's gonna bring um, high level striking. There may be a good deal of grappling, which may surprise some people here with this fight, just because I feel like both fighters have some pretty good grappling, and they may want to bring it to the ground to test it, see who's better there. I would say that I'll say Manil Cop comes out better on the ground. Royval, don't get me wrong, Royval's grappling is great, but I think Manil Cop is just a notch above when it comes to grappling. And then when it comes to striking, though, I think Royval has a great chance to be a step ahead of Manil Cop. And I know it's wild to say because I just praised Manil Cop for crazy good head movement, but it's the feints of Brandon Royval that I think could they could catch Manil Cop, but Manil Cop is also proven to be really good when it comes to not biting on feints. So I don't know. It's a hard one. I think it's a hard one. And yes, Manil Cop I think has the advantage on the ground, but I think the fight will mostly be on the feet. But I think there will be a good percentage on the ground. But since it's mostly on the feet, and I said you got two great strikers, one with great feints, one with great head movement. I think it's going to be really, really fast pace. I don't think either fighter will have the pressure advantage. I think most of this fight will be fought in the center of the octagon. Um, yeah, man. And looking at a victor, what would happen if either fighter wins? Like, if Royval wins, you get Pantoja versus Royval again. I don't think anything will change. If Manel Kape wins, you get Manel Kape versus Pantoja, which I think does change things, and I'll have to really do a little bit of research to give you guys a really authentic prediction on that fight, if that fight actually materializes. But if I had to give you a prediction for this fight, Manel Kape versus Brandon Royval, I'm going to say give me Manel Kape. I really will. And when I started this video, I was going to say that I was going to go with Brandon Royval. And I was going to go with Brandon Royval just purely because of his feints and his speed. I think he's really good on the feet. And since this fight will mostly be on the feet, I think he was going to have a really good chance of outclassing Manel Kape on the feet. But especially given Manel Kape's previous performance, I think Kape's on a beeline for the belt. And I think, he's got this momentum. He just had a brilliant display of striking. And I think he could absolutely replicate that in this fight. And don't get me wrong, Royval is great, but especially since Manel Kape also has the ground advantage, I think whether this fight is on the feet or on the ground, Manel Kape has a strong chance to just utilize that stellar head movement, great striking, good counter striking as well, to just outclass Brandon Royval on the feet. And if this fight somehow was to go to the ground, whether he wanted to press the issue or Royval wanted to test the waters on the ground, Manel Kape, I think, is just going to be a step ahead. So I'm going to go with Manel Kape to win this fight. How would he win? I was toying with the possibility of this fight going to a unanimous decision or even a split decision. I don't know. I don't think Manel Kape could finish Royval. And I think Manel Kape has to be careful when finishing Brandon Royval. He maybe could submit Royval, though. He might be able to, but no. I'm going to go with Manel Kape via unanimous decision. I'm going to go with the unanimous decision win for Manel Kape because on the feet, I think Manel Kape has to really be careful with finishing Royval, just because Royval is very sneaky and could really throw like a well-timed counter shot if Manel Kape got too close. And on the ground, I think Royval is efficient enough on the ground to avoid being submitted there. So I think Manel Kape effectively outclasses Brandon Royval on the feet and on the ground to a decision win. But let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, but most importantly, subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you all in the next.